Is it true Elton John paid for your transfer to Watford in 2003?
It is, yeah, and the amount of stick I've had about this down the years, you can imagine, can't you? The
Yeah.
amount of comments I've had about this. But yeah, Ray Lewington, who was fantastic bloke, Ray. Elton, and one thing I will say about Elton John, he's not one of these celebrity fans. He knows his stuff. I've never met him, was never in his company or anything like that, but from what I've heard, he used to ring Ray every Saturday on the coach on the way back or at the ground, and he knew his players, and he just says to Ray, "I'll give you the contract for one player." The club was skint because it was a bit similar to when I went to Sheffield after the Kendall era. They'd signed a lot of big players, but then were skint. They had to sort of cut the cloth, get rid of the big earners, and Watford had done the same. It was at the end of the Viali era where they'd signed Ramon Vega and people like that, and basically tried the nuts off to get up, failed, and they had to cut the cloth again. So I ended up going there, and Elton John paid for me, paid the transfer fee and 3-year contract. And we actually went to a concert at Vicarage Road. So I was sitting with all the lads and all the wives, and he gave me a mention on stage, Elton John. So you can imagine all the squad of lads turning around and looking at me, and the stick I was getting when Elton John's talking about me on stage. So yeah, it is true. Never met the bloke, but grateful for him to doing it. But I've got loads of stick about it down the years.
How did that scene not make it into Rocket Man?
Oh, listen, I don't know. I was waiting for me a little call for a part in it, but
cameo.
No, I mean, one thing about him, having spoke to people at the club, players, man, he is fanatical Watford fan. So, it's nice when you get someone at that sort of level of fame who really does care about their club and is willing to put his money where his mouth is as well. He's been chairman there on a couple of occasions as well. So he's a proper Watford fan.